Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm gonna be doing a quick little should you summon video, or basically like going over the collab units, just like breaking down their kit, and because Merlin is on her way very soon. ReZero collab is probably in the works in like a month or two, just letting you know if you should summon or not, save your gems, yada yada yada. I'll probably be doing a separate video of if you should summon a Valenti and Easton, considering we're looking at this meta coming up as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys look forward to that. And if you guys like the video, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It means a lot. So basically, on JP right now, unknown units are sweeping the entire meta. Like, a collab has actually made unknown units actually like broken and absolutely insane. Simply because of their passive. So there is, I can't see because my face cam, I'm gonna just move it. But camera's always in the way of my stuff. Not Beatrice, which one? Amelia. Apparently this is the best one. I kind of disagree, but she's kind of like a toxic unit because in my opinion, I always like the damaging units, which is like, I like Rem. It's the only unit I really want. If I summon, I want 1/6 all of them, and I want dupes of her. That's all I want. So yeah, but what's her name? Amelia. She's a very toxic and annoying unit. If you pair her with like, okay, I don't want to see. I forgot what that movie is, but whatever. Her passive. She's a very like controlling unit, kind of like Goddess Liz. She's annoying. She controls. She's also kind of like Green Gother because she can remove, or she dissolves. I guess that's the more proper way to say it. She dissolves ultimate gauge and she freezes. And then with her passive, it's really toxic because it's very hard to actually kill her, like in one turn. Obviously, you can. So here, I'll read it out actually. When the hero receives attack from the same enemy 2 or more times during enemy's turn, cleanse all debuffs from allies and freezes the enemy for 2 turns. So if you attack Seal, and you you'll hit everybody, right? And then you go to attack Amelia, and you try to kill her, then it would freeze that unit because he would be most likely attacking twice, and then you remove the debuff, which is absolutely broken in my opinion. So what you might have to do in order to counteract this is actually attack with your regular unit first, let them get frozen, or just don't attack twice, and then use the AoE. That would probably be the smarter decision. That's one way to like counter it, I guess. But it's very annoying, especially in the heat of the moment when you're like, oh gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And then your time is running out. Yeah, it can definitely get confusing. It happened to me, or it happened to the enemy that I faced in one of my videos that I did with her. It was honestly really funny. Alright, and so then we go into the freeze card. She has a rank 1 freeze just like Merlin. And then after that, it's basically Jericho. This is basically Jericho's stats. So the good thing, what they should have done with Jericho in my opinion is done this. This is what they should have done with Jericho. Because that with freezing, it's an absolutely insane clutch move. Unless they have Zeldris, Evasion Food, or like a King. Then how are you going to get that cleanse off first turn? You know what I'm saying? So the rank 1 freeze really does help, because then it's basically like throwing up a taunt, and then they will just not attack for the first turn, because you know the taunt, you do less damage and whatnot. Like if it's a green Diane, it really does help. Alright, and then I'll just say the rank 3, they inflict damage equal to 360% of attack on one enemy and freezes for 2 turns. When the enemy is removed by using skills, ultimate moves, or after turns have passed, inflict damage equal to 40% of their remaining HP. So that's absolutely insane. If only it was max HP, but then that would be absolutely broken. It's a really good card, not gonna lie. And then this, Al-Huma! She inflicts damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies, deeply to 1 ultimate move gauge, orbs at the end of the enemy's turn for 1 turn. Basically exactly like Gother. And then this is the exact same as Gother. I don't know if the damage is the same, but I know that the actual card is. And then at this, inflicts damage equal to 180% of attack on all enemies, depletes 2 ultimate gauge, move gauge, orbs at the end of the enemy's turn for 2 turns. I actually don't know if that's I thought Gother's rank 3 removed 3 for 2 turns, but I could be wrong. It could just be 2 for 2. But still a really good overall kit. And then she has not assault mode. Lost Vein Meliodas' ultimate, basically. Granted, she doesn't have as much stats and like damage because she's a collab unit. She doesn't have max cosmetics or anything. I believe Ram is the only one with 5 out of 5 cosmetics, or 555, I guess, which is really weird. But whatever. So yeah, she doesn't have much stats, not as many cosmetics, so she's going to do less damage, sadly. And I also think her multiplier is lower, even though I could be wrong. Not 100% certain. I don't really look at Assault Mode or Lost Vein's ultimate that much. I just click it and it kills. So inflicts secret technique damage, which secret technique does an extra 20% additional damage per hero skill in hand. So you want to ultimate and then use her cards afterwards if you want to fire those off. Damage equal to 300% of attack on all enemies, and deals damage with attribute advantage regardless of attribute. So yeah, it's type neutral. So, you know, it's really... Oh, it's always advantage. I didn't know that. I just thought it would, like, even out, but no, always advantage. That's actually insane. And then with the multipliers, it goes up by 30%, and secret technique multiplier goes up by 8%. So if you want to max out a unit, this is the one to max out for 6/6, because she will wipe. I didn't do that because I don't really like her that as much. It's a toxic team, and I just don't really like her. I like Rem. I wanted her to have more CC, so I 3/6 her. So yeah, and then we're gonna get into Rem, my favorite unit of the game, and also the best cosmetic is the Tux. The Tux, man, she got that drip. Oh wow, she has really high lifesteal. 5%. All right, well hers makes sense. She's a healing unit. Pretty much. They all have really good lifesteal, I think. Yeah, that's at 5, huh? Weird. Okay. I don't really know if these are good stats, to be honest. All I know is that 10% lifesteal is very rare. No regeneration, which is so stupid. Stop giving them 0% roll or stats. It's so dumb. But anyways, Rem, my favorite unit of the collab, easily the top, tied for second or first. You could really mix it up either way with Rem and Amelia. I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna go in order of best to worst from other people that have commented. Survivor of the Oni. Oh my god, Oni clan. I thought it said Oni-chan. I was like, what? When the hero uses skill or move skills to rank up a skill and gain ultimate move gauge orb, increases the attack-related stats by 5% for 3 turns up to 5 times. If there are 5 or more ultimate move gauge orbs, recovers 30% of max HP. That is a really good passive, I'm not gonna lie. I saw Kabuki share a tweet saying, why the heck does this little lolly have Assault Mode Meliodas' passive? Honestly, this would be an absolutely insane passive. It wouldn't restrict him, but I think we had to restrict Assault Mode Meliodas because the crit team is everywhere, and we don't need another crit team. Honestly, it's really annoying just facing the same team. So I'm glad that they did that, but I wish it would have been like this, and then only works if you have full demons, because then he doesn't have to be attacked, you know? And then so basically what you do is you move a card, you get stacks, you rank up a card, you get stacks, and you use a card and you get stacks. Sometimes it doesn't work though. I don't know why. It's really weird. I don't know if it's because if I have Dissolve on, I have no idea, but sometimes I just don't get the Amplify stacks. I'm just like, why is this not working? I don't know, man. It was really annoying. But she inflicts Amplify equal to 180% of attack on one enemy. I have hit for 300,000 damage with a level 1. Level 1. That's all you need. She's so good. I'm sorry, but she is. She's the only lolly I'll ever summon for, but she's not a waifu. She is an absolute FBI tier. I think that's what I put her in on my waifu video. And then at level 3, she inflicts amplified damage equal to 450% of attack on one enemy. So she literally just one-shots any unit in the game except maybe Red Escanor and of course Lolly Merlin, because you can only do 40% of attack of only 40% of her HP per turn. But Red Escanor might be able to survive. I have hit for 700,000 damage before though, so you know, I don't know. If you're really buff Escanor, you might be able to live. And then Boisterous Dance of Oni inflicts damage equal to 130% of attack on all enemies, decreases ultimate move damage by 20% for 1 turns. No wonder. Okay, so I couldn't read Japanese and I completely forgot this. But this. Okay, so it's only ultimate move effect. All right. I'm I'm big dumb because when I first read this, I thought that it was talking about what's her name, MK2 Valentia's single target passive, and then I would keep getting like the Goddess Shield and all that being used, and I was like, what the heck? How is this not working? This makes so much more sense now. At rank 3, she inflicts equal to 325% of attack on all enemies, decreases ultimate move damage by 50%, and restricts ultimate move effects for 2 turns. So it's ultimate move effects, not just effects in general. Okay. And then Night Parade of the Blue Oni. She inflicts shatter damage equal to 420% of attack on all enemies. Multiplier goes up by 42%, and shatter ignores resistance. So she's a really good unit. She's really fun to use because, in my opinion, Amplify units will always be the best units and most fun units in the game. If there wasn't a Goddess Liz Shield, everybody would be using an Amplify unit, 100%. Because just having a chance to absolutely one-tap a unit is so much fun. But with Escanor, the one, it's always a guaranteed chance pretty much. And it's like, okay, I killed the unit. So yeah, I would highly recommend get going for her if you want dupes. Either Amelia or Rem. Rem for CC. Her ult, I mean, it does damage, but it won't really like make or break a game, really. And then Amelia, her ult will absolutely break the game. Or like save you if yeah, it's a really good ultimate. And then there's Ram, probably one of the most unappealing units in my opinion. Like, she's really weird. She has really low stats from what I've seen. 550 attack. Oh, they all have 550 attack, I guess. Okay, then never mind. But her rupture card is not it, man. I have never broken a Goddess's shield with a rupture card. That's how bad it is. Let me just see something. What is Ludocio's? Ludo. I guess it's the same. Maybe. Yeah, he has 600 attack. So he does way more attack damage. And you also always want to max him out. So that could be why. And he decreases defense-related stats. So that might be why he actually breaks his shield so much easier. Like, I actually hate using her. Because she hardly ever breaks the shield whenever I use her. Maybe if you max her out, maybe you'll be able to do it. I finally level 8'd her, so maybe that's what it took to actually be able to break the shields. But it's very underwhelming. So what she does. But this is literally the only reason you want her. You throw her in the back line, you throw Amelia up front, you throw Red Gother, and you throw Merlin up front. Bada boom, bada boom, you wipe teams. Or instead of Amelia, you could also throw in like Goddess Liz, more CC. She has like 58k CC on JP now, so kind of nutty. She increases the unknown allies' basic stats by 20%, so attack, HP, defense by 20%. They do absolutely massive damage. She's basically a Death Pierce. Basically what she is. Her Fula card inflicts damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy. And then at rank 3, it cancels stances on one enemy, inflicts damage equal to 250% of attack, then stuns for 2 turns. Reading is hard. Basically Goddess Liz. And then this card, she inflicts rupture equal to 100% of attack on all enemies. And at rank 3, she inflicts rupture damage equal to 250% of attack on all enemies. So she's good. If you get her, I believe she'll probably still be the free-to-play unit. If you log in for 3 days and do all those little tasks, you will get her for free. So don't worry. Do not get her on the guaranteed. It is not worth it. I highly suggest going for a different unit. Please, please, please. Unless you 6-6 every unit but Ram. Or Beatrice. Honestly, Beatrice isn't that great either. But Ram, unless you have 6-6 every other unit besides Ram, do not get her from the guaranteed because you'll get her from the free one. Alright, and now we're hopping into... No, wait. And now we are going to be talking about Beatrice. That could have been so bad. Oh, never mind. Also, they're all unknown. If I didn't say that, they're all unknown. So what she does is she increases the hero's HP related stats by 5% for each unknown ally in battle. She recovers HP of unknown allies by 60% of the amount the hero recovers when using skills. Applies when entering battle. She is basically a healer. She is like a little healer. She just reads her book and is like, I know how to give you more HP, man. And then she just slaps him with some HP, you know, just Just straight up 5 stars people in the back. But her card, Mana Collection. She inflicts equal damage equal to 180% of attack on one enemy and life steals 40% of the damage. And then at rank 3, inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on one enemy and life steals 100% of the damage. That's really good. But I think she is a PvE unit in my opinion. A bunch of people have done it and she just doesn't output enough damage. I totally understand because it looks like she's either a support to try to keep your units alive or simply just to work in some boss raids. So I highly recommend getting at least a 1/6 version of her. Because, I mean, look at that. Like, her lifesteal doesn't go up. It's just damage, and she doesn't do that much damage anyway, so you might as well just get the lifesteal. Like, that's all you need. You just need her a 1/6 for PvE raids, I assume. And then, at her other card, I wonder if I should let you know, she inflicts Despair. And Despair, now that it's been buffed, recovers a blank percentage of HP times 50% of diminished HP upon successful critical strike. What's her crit chance? Crit 70%. That's not bad. It's not bad. And then at rank 3, she inflicts Despair damage equal to 325% of attack on all enemies, and it's at 30% of recovered of diminished HP upon successful critical strike. So if you use her cards, you're max HP, man. You're just max HP. It's literally what this is all for. Alright, now we're going to be talking about Merlin. And the reason I think they made these units all unknown is so that you want to wail on Merlin. They made a knighthood boss really susceptible to unknown units. They are trying to push the unknown meta. Now, there are 2 reasons why, in my opinion. One, because the Escanor, Green Gother, and Elizabeth / Green Diane meta is really old and getting toxic. And 2, they want your money. They want you to summon on Merlin because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to skip this trash unit. Escanor is still way better. You just hit her with 3 attacks and she's dead. Because obviously you couldn't make this, you can't deal more than 30% of their damage because then they just lifesteal full HP and then it's like, oh, well, shit, now I have to somehow kill her. And then she revives and then, it would have been too toxic. Maybe it could have been 35, you know, or like 34. Because then you can still kill her. But I don't know. But yeah, they really are pushing the meta. Because exactly what they did for King. They, I can't remember, what was the release date? I don't care. For Festival King, they released him. And then I believe they came out with Red Lilia. They might have came out with Red Lilia earlier. But I believe she was after, in my opinion. Or from what I remember. They released Festival King. He was really good. Not gonna lie, on JP he was really good. And then they released Big Titty Lilia. You know, the one that everyone is now absolutely simping over, 100%. The red one. She does corrosion damage, and King's passive also like strives off of corrosion damage. So it really pairs well together. And then they just took off. And then they released another Elaine. Not that great of a unit, but a lot of people summoned for her because they thought she was going to be absolute god tier. And then after they maxed her out, got all the cosmetics, blah, 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 gave all that money to Netmarble, they're like, bro, this unit sucks. They are trying to get your money. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about her kit. So, during the enemy's turn, each enemy's skill cannot deal more than 40% of the hero's max HP. And she increases the attack-related stats by 1% per 4% of remaining HP when using skills. So she gets an extra 25% of attack-related stats at max HP, which not as good as Gother's, I believe, because I believe Gother can go up to 7 to 35%. Because I believe it goes up by 7 and it goes up by 5 turns. So yeah. And then Power Strike. This is the card that actually is really crazy. Not gonna lie, Infect is not that insane. Like, it's good, but also, this is another reason Beatrice doesn't really work. Because I think if you infect, she can't lifesteal any of that HP. From what I remember. Could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's how it works. She inflicts Power Strike, which is additional damage equal to enemy resistance. 190% of attack on one enemy. And then inflicts Power Strike equal to 475% of attack on one enemy. So yeah, basically like a weaker Sariel in my opinion, because she only hits once. She doesn't have more chances to actually crit. 1 second. I got water. And her crit chance is lower. It is so much lower. Because with Sariel's Grace, I believe if he crits once, he also has a higher chance to do more crit damage and critical chance, I believe. Could be wrong, but he just has a much higher chance of critting. I know that for sure. He has a much higher crit chance. So that's why Merlin is not as good as Sariel, in my opinion. Now, Sariel can't wipe her, which is really good, but I still think Sariel is better than her. And then double mana fusion. She inflicts damage equal to 110% of attack on all enemies and infect for 1 turn. And infect, which I should have said earlier, restricts recovery related stats. So therefore, no, what are they called? Recovery rate, lifesteal, and regeneration. So yeah, it is really good, but especially since it's AoE. If it was single target, it'd be absolute trash. But this also works for the Goddess Liz ultimate shield. It doesn't even activate. That's how busted that is. That's the only good thing in my opinion. It's like its best use. And then her ultimate, she inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on all enemies and creates a barrier around all allies equal to 5% of the damage. When attacked, no bonus damage effect will be applied, excluding Rupture. And the multiplier is 40% for the basic damage, and then the barrier multiplication goes up by 3% per ultimate, and goes all the way up to 20%, and the multiplier for the regular ultimate goes up to 600. So, in my opinion, I hate this. You have to 6-6, or at least like 4 or 5-6 this unit before she becomes even relevant with her ultimate. Like, yes, she's not really known for her ultimate. It's not like Escanor's or Lost Veins, but I hate that you have to 6-6 a unit to get the max benefit of this effect. I understand the damage. I understand that 100%. That's every single unit in the game. But when it comes to these stupid multipliers, it is so toxic. I don't like it. That's why I like Assault Meliodas. He's a festival unit, a Holy War festival unit. So hopefully more like that, where they don't need to be 6-6. That's just my opinion, though. And so now we've come to the conclusion, guys. We've went over all of them. They're all unknown, and this is why I think the unknown race is going to be absolutely dominant on global. Because there's not much of a unit difference. They might release stuff earlier, like maybe we won't have Denzel. And I think that's literally it, besides the new ReZero collabs. So Denzel, ReZero, and Merlin is all we have left, because Valenti and Easton have been confirmed to be coming on global. Please, Netmarble, give them a good banner. I want green Roxy dupes. I want green Shin dupes. I want red Shin. I want... Who else do I even want? Because it's all original characters on that banner, 100%. And then maybe... No, I think it's all OC characters. Green Easton, I would love... I don't know why I'm talking about this. Later video. But yeah, should you summon for the ReZero collab? No, unless you're going to run a Merlin team. You should not summon for any of these units if you are not going to summon on Merlin. Because the best team, I believe, is Merlin, Red Gother, Amelia, and then Ram in the back. I think that is the strongest unknown team. I'm fairly certain the one team can still beat it, but it is a very annoying matchup because, you know, attack ceiling, the freezing, the debuff, or what is it, the ultimate gauge debuffs, all that jazz, very toxic. And then the buff. So yeah, I think if you're not going to summon for Merlin, don't do this banner. I sadly might even summon for Merlin. I'm gonna cry. So yeah, in my opinion, obviously if you really like the anime, summon on ReZero. Go for it. This is a game. I'm not gonna belittle you if you like the game or the anime and you want to summon. They're your favorite units. Go for it. I'm going to summon only for Rem. I don't care about anyone else. Rem is so much fun. I haven't even watched the anime, and I'm gonna summon on Rem. I don't care. Merlin, I don't really want her, honestly, but I might just do it just for the showcase, for the views, for that ad rev that I still don't have. Sad. But yeah, hopefully this answered any questions, guys. Also, if you're free-to-play players, I highly suggest skipping. I need to say that. If you're free to play, skip. Escanor is still better. If you don't have Escanor, I highly suggest saving. We will probably be getting another festival unit after Merlin, which is probably going to be Bond, Cusack or Chandler, maybe a Diane, and I think that's the only... I doubt it would be the new king that we just got. I absolutely doubt it, but you know, Netmarble is absolutely insane and they're money hungry, so who knows. But yeah, let me know down below, guys. Are you going to be summoning? And who do you think is going to be the next festival unit? I would love to hear it. But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you out. Hopefully you guys are going to have an amazing day. And I hope you guys, if you do consider to summon, don't get shafted. So anyways, peace out.